Hello and welcome to FTB Sports Broadcasting, and this is the Arsenal preview show. My name is G-Man. We also have Canas and we have LF Guna with us today.
How you doing? You okay?
You all right? Hello guys.
You all right, Trev?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're all looking forward to the game Saturday?
Absolutely. This is something we're going to have to bounce back big time. Absolutely, a bounce back is an absolute must. Disappointing. It was mixed emotions really for the game against Wolves. We played so well for the first 20 minutes. Absolutely, pulverized them. Was looking good, looking solid. Finally got the goal. Should have been at least 2 or 3 up, and then we pushed that proverbial self-destruct button. And then you have to wonder sometimes. You see all the kind of the furor coming out of the penalty incident, with David Luiz. But the problem for me is that if it was any other player, I would be like, do you know what? Nah, there's no intention. It's this and it's that. Didn't deserve the red. Shouldn't have been a penalty. But the problem is that Luiz has got form with it all, and he's always got something in his locker. He's always got something in his locker.
I get that, but do you really think? I mean, there's no contact, and I know that we can go back to the rules. And hold up, the other thing is today his red card didn't get overturned. Yeah, the Southampton boys did. What's his name? Benorak or something.
Bednarek,
and they were exactly the same thing. And I'm not saying there's a bias here against Arsenal, and I get what you're saying about the self-destruct, but come on, man. Come on, that's not a penalty. If you was playing like that in any level of football, that's surely not a red card. With no contact, Trev. There's no contact.
Well, obviously there was contact because he went down. But the problem, okay, this is the thing is, right, I reckon, in my mind, Luiz knew what he was doing. He knew his trailing leg was going to hit his leg. I just, come on.
You see,
for me personally,
no, that's good. That's good. I just saw it differently, yeah, because the player got clean through, yeah, and he's clean through on goal. So I think Luiz is thinking, right, I've got to go and cover the goalie now, because Leno's been probably our best player this year.
Luiz is not.
Chances are he could have shot, got a deflection, and then he's covering on the goal line, and he's minimal contact. The Wolves player's gone down. Not saying he shouldn't have gone down. Yeah, because that's what they do. But I think it's a bit harsh to blame Luiz, man.
Yeah, personally, when you're running at pace, okay, I'm going to close this quickly, right? So basically, but my last point is when you're running at pace, and your foot hits his foot basically when he was running hit David Luiz's knee, and obviously that disrupted him, and that's why he went down. It's a foul. It is a penalty. Full stop. The fact of the matter is that David Luiz has tried to be cute, right, in running that kind of close behind him, not doing anything, but knowing that his back leg is going to hit his, and he's going to, at some point, he's going to trip, he'll trip him up, make it look unintentional, but Luiz is right. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And he tried to make it as innocent as possible. I don't know. That's me personally. That's what I thought. And the thing is, knowing what Luiz is like, he's full on gamesmanship. And the problem for me is that he's got too many of those kind of hiccups and what have you in his locker. I think it's time for him now to be benched for a few games. Hopefully, I'm kind of a little bit upset that Pablo Mari got injured when he did. Would have been good to have him playing still. And hopefully we can get Gabriel up to speed. But G-Man, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean,
Saturday, won't he? I mean, it will be playing now, I'm sure, because Luiz won't be around Saturday. So Gabriel, he had a great start to the season. So I'm glad to see him coming back into the side. I thought he looked a bit off the pace when he's come on as a sub. But he needs to start some games now.
He needs to start, he needs to start, absolutely. So I guess looking ahead then for the game on Saturday. It's a afternoon kickoff, 12:30 away to Villa.
Injuries again, isn't it?
So where do we go?
Injury.
I mean, we're looking at form here. If we look at the last 6 games for both teams in the league, Villa, looking at it, they've lost 4 but won 2. I mean, fair enough. 2 of those games against City, the 2 Manchester clubs, City and United. And then you got us, really, who was going along nicely, purring along. Couple of draws in there, a couple of wins. Then we have that defeat against Wolves. Nick, I mean,
that defeat against Wolves. I think we're going to be back onto a winning run now. We've got some games where we should be picking up some points. Wolves was one of them. We messed up that time, but this Villa game now, we've got Aubameyang back, and I'm sure he's going to start on Saturday. Gabriel will start though. I think he does. I think he does.
In place of who? Because for me personally, I don't know if you agree, Nick. Also, Pepe's earned his place in that team, and you can't. You're not dropping Saka. And to be honest,
do you want to know my biggest? Do you want to know what my biggest worry is? Ain't about that at all. Yeah, it's with no Kieran Tierney left back. I don't want to see Saka playing left back because the boy is rinsing it at right wing. You see what I mean? As long as he stays there, there's enough cover on that left. And I'm a bit like you, Trev, at the moment for Aubameyang. Don't know where his head's at and all of that, but I'm not even seeing the work rate that I did. I don't want to criticise him because he's class and he scores goals. But right now, he's not my. I'm more concerned like on that defensive issue. No Tierney. I don't want to see Saka, who's just been amazing right wing. He's nailed that position for me. I see what you're saying with Pep. Thing with Pepe for me, man, he's too one-footed. You're a professional footballer. You should not be that one-footed. I know, Trev. That's hard for you to take. So, man, I see your face and then I clicked right in. That's it.
Do you know what? Maradona made a living out of being one-footed. I tell you.
Yeah. Very true.
By the way, I'm not saying that Pepe is anywhere near Maradona, so don't no comments in about that. But what I'm saying is that you can get away with it. However, I mean, G-Man, so you're saying Aubameyang has to start for you?
I think he will. I think the only reason he hasn't started before is because he was quarantined. I think Arteta would have put him in. And I think he will, because he's the captain, he kind of has to start. And I think he will. He has to get his form back some way. You're not going to get it back sitting at home.
So who would you drop it in? So what would your front line be? I mean, we're saying that Smith Rowe starts, right? That's nailed on. You got 2 absolutes. You got 2 undroppables in Saka and Smith Rowe right now. Who else plays in that?
But the thing is, they've all been doing quite well. Lacazette's been scoring some goals.
Yeah,
Pepe has been playing his best football since he came to Arsenal.
So who'd you drop?
I don't know who you drop. That's Arteta's decision.
Yeah, for me, I think you got to go. You can't drop Pepe. He scored he had a good game, to be fair. And he had a good game. He's got 2 in 2, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Lacazette been linking it all. He's more of a link man than what Obo is up top. And like I say, Saka for me, man, he's got to be a candidate for Young Player of the Year. And that's not being biased because I'm Arsenal.
No.
Guys on another league.
I think all the neutrals would absolutely, agree with you 100% that he's in the conversation.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't even understand with Gareth Southgate when they picked him in the England squad and they put him down as a defender. Seriously, man, the guy, he's a winger. Started out as a left winger and he's rinsing it on the right. And look how he put that goal away that was disallowed with his right foot.
Yeah,
guy's on another league.
He's class.
That's quality.
He can play left or right. He can play anywhere. That guy.
Absolutely. Do you know what I really want to see? I think, if available, for me right now, the strongest team, and this might get a bit controversial here. I wouldn't play Aubameyang this weekend. I wouldn't start him. I would go with the front 3 that started against Wolves.
Martinelli.
No. Pepe's kind of gone ahead of him. The problem I think with Martinelli.
Let me just put a little thing into you though, right? And it's nothing from Smith Rowe because the boy, he's class as well, but he's a kid still, yeah?
Yeah.
No one ever thought about playing Pepe like in that little hole. Then you could have Uba on the left, you can have Laka there and Saka. Do you know what I mean? And you've got the security now, because I don't know about you lot, but since we bought Partey, Xhaka looks a different player, man.
Yeah.
Looks a different player alongside him, man.
I'm not Xhaka's greatest advocate, to be honest, but I hold my hands up. His performances have improved. He at this moment he has to play. Him and Partey in the middle. It would have been great had we got Aouar as well at the same time. But hey, listen, can't get greedy. But what I can't wait to see is Cedric on the right and Tierney on the left. Yeah, that's what I'm done with Bellerin.
Tell me about it. Do you know what? I don't know what happened to the guy, and his pace is gone. I
used to get him
I love Maitland-Niles. I love Maitland-Niles. I don't know why we put him out on loan. He could have fought for a place in the middle of that park. He was so much better at right back. I don't know what it is. It must be something we don't know about, because I don't know about you two, but my eyes were telling me the boy, every time he played right back, he was such a better option than Bellerin. He's got pace, he's got skill, he's got work ethic. You know, like in the FA Cup final when he's playing left wing back, he's amazing. But I know he's a midfielder. Like when Wenger played him at Old Trafford as a centre midfielder, he had a great game. And then he played, I know he was only in the Europa League, but what people forget, one game, got an assist. I think we won 3 or 4-0. But he had 2 clear-cut chances that he missed. If he put them away and they were clear-cut chances, that's 1 game, 2 goals, 1 assist. And we got rid of him. I don't get that.
Nick.
He's got on loan. He might be back.
The thing is, it's all ifs and buts and maybes, isn't it? For me, Maitland-Niles, as much as I think he's solid, he's great in one-on-ones, he's rapid, his recovery is great. The problem for me is that he'll have that momentary lapse in concentration. And fair enough, he's young, and he can be really, sometimes that little bit slack. But
is that because the game comes too easy to him?
Maybe. The problem I have is that we've got a tough period coming up, and Saturday's game is so important, because after Saturday, after Villa, we've got Leeds. Now, those 2 games, we can't get anything less than 6 points, because after that, Europa League starts up again, and then after that, City, and then after that, Europa, and then Leicester.
I think Villa. I fancy us against Leeds. I fancy us against the big teams as well. I think Villa, different proposition. They've just weren't that their second defeat on the bounce? First?
No. I think
2.
Oh gosh, I'm not 100%.
Grealish going down the left flank against Bellerin. Man, don't even want to think about it.
There was that meme, what happened, isn't it? There was that GIF where Grealish was running down and he just breezed. Yeah. I don't know if any of you saw it, where he just breezed.
I know the one. He's trying to nudge him, hasn't he? He's bounced off him like a baby. I know.
That was like, get off me. What are you doing on this pitch with me?
That McGinn's good. Barkley's class. Watkins, I think, is a good player. Do you know what I mean?
Do they have any? I don't know if they've got any fresh injury concerns, do they? I don't.
No, they're flying, man. Well, not flying, but their first team. I hate to say it. I don't think. I know you two are thinking, this is a guaranteed win. I think now.
I don't think so. Guaranteed. No, our last 2.
But you're confident. You're confident.
No,
I would take a point now. I think, if I'm honest.
No. I don't know about that. I think I'd go a little bit more optimistic than that. But however, our last couple of games against Villa have been struggles. They've done us twice. Last 2 games.
And they raise their game against Arsenal. All these sort of mid-table clubs, they raise it. It's still the Arsenal, isn't it? Look, I'm not saying I want to win. I'm just saying the expectation after that little run we just had, I got it. And I thought we actually played. I'm probably one of the minority. I thought we done all right against Man United. I think we controlled it. There was shape there. And then the first half against Wolves, I'm a bit like you, Trev, man. It's like they're not clinical enough. They should have been 3-4-0 up. But then you get that momentum, and then you take that into the next game, and the other teams, mentally not beat, but not on edge at the moment. Villa come in, yeah. We know if we get stuck up Arsenal, few mistakes here and there. Do you know what I mean? Villa are park away, man. Hard one.
The thing is, I think right now the problem for us is that we need to win. Villa have played 2 games less. They're a point ahead of us. They're 9th, we're 10th. Over the last 5 games, their form has been patchy. They've lost 3, but won 2. The last game they lost, obviously. Whereas we was going along quite nicely, obviously, until the Wolves game. So the problem we have right now is that we need to actually start picking up points. And the problem we're having at the moment is that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We've got 5 red cards this season, and we're talking 22 games. That's a red card every 5 games, pretty much, isn't it?
You know, we're bottom of the league with the most fouls as well, though, Trev. We're 20th in the league. But
we're making stupid, fouls, and the 2 that we the Leno one, that was ridiculous.
That's big.
Picking up Gabriel when he picked up 2 yellows against Southampton. I just think, come on, you got to start using your head in certain the way you do certain fouls or whatever. Just let a player go. There's someone behind you that can easily make that challenge. So we've got a chat here. So do you believe you can go to Villa and get a result on the current form of Jack Grealish?
Like what we said, innit?
Well,
depends on what back is.
He's a good player.
Your player of the season?
It's a bit early for me yet, but
he's got to be in a convo, right?
He's got to be there. Yeah, you got to mention the name, Yeah. But look at Bruno Fernandes at United as well. He had some good games. We got some. Yeah, it's a bit early for me though.
Yeah. But can we get a result with a? Grealish.
Even the best players have a bad day now and then. I'm not saying that we need a bad day for us to go get a result. But if we're on the front foot, that pushes him back and he can't really do us harm. So I think we need to keep possession of the ball and press high up the pitch. Don't let them pressure our back four.
Yeah. Do you what about yourself, Nick? What do you think?
One thing I would say, I remember when I used to worry big time about Traore when we played against him for Wolves. One thing I think Arteta he is clued up on other players. If you look, they doubled up on Traore. Now forget, and this is Cedric, and the time before when we played them last year, we kept him quiet as well. I got a feeling he'll have something. Don't get me wrong, Grealish is for me, he's one of my favourite players. I love him. But I'm not that fearful of him. I am, but I think Arteta, the way he sets his team up, he's not like it was in the Wenger days, our football will win all. He has provisions in place for dangers. So, yeah, I'm scared of him, and he's wicked, but I'm like you, G-Man. If we're attacking and that, yeah, man.
Why not? Yeah.
I just feel that I think we've now got a player in midfield that has he dictates play. I'm talking Partey.
Partey, of course.
I don't know if you. I'm going back and being a bit nostalgic here. So I don't know if you ever remember Vieira's debut. Okay, we was losing against Sheffield Wednesday. All of a sudden, Ray Parlour comes off, switches in for Vieira. This young kid, lanky kid, comes on, and we win 4-1. I think Wright gets a hat trick. I remember thinking, and my thought that day was thinking, this guy is something else. Right, 2 million from AC Milan. AC Milan didn't want him. What's going on? I just remember thinking, and I have the same. Don't want to put a hex in it, but I have the same feeling with Partey, the way he controls games, as when I first saw. I'm not saying he's on Vieira's level, but the feeling I've got, the way he actually plays, he never looks like losing the ball. He's so comfortable on the ball. He always, and what's a mark of great players when someone makes it out when everything around him is all rushed, but he's got time.
He looks elegant, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the thing is, I think him and Xhaka will be so important, really, in shielding a back four against Grealish. I don't think he'll be as influential as he was at the Emirates. I mean, we gave him the whole stadium, didn't we, at the Emirates? I mean, and we're in a bad way when we last played Villa. So I don't think. Don't get me wrong. Good player, man. Grealish is coming on leaps and bounds. I guess question, right? If Villa drop out the top 10 or don't make Europa, does Grealish stay there, or does he move?
Well, this is a Arsenal chat. We've got some more chats coming in, so I'm just going to post some up there.
Yep.
This one, when Arsenal starts.
I was going to come on to that one.
Yeah.
This is how bad it's getting. We're praying that Ryan is fit. I mean, what the hell? He's obviously got injured in training because his first day he was flying about the place, wasn't he? He's shown all his so he's always obviously got injured. Yeah, we got problems there.
We got problems.
All I'm saying is I'm hoping the Arsenal physios they've got this Ryan ready, man.
Mr. Miyagi.
Look, I don't want to. It's a bit harsh knocking.
We've got 2 days, man. We've got 2 days.
Like that Man City game, I'm 5'6". I think I could have done better with that free kick, and I've never played. Well, Trev see me attempt to playing up. It ain't a nice sight, and it was that bad, do you know? And he's a professional goalkeeper, for God's sake.
Oh my God!
Maybe just nerve. He can't be that worried.
But the problem he has now is that he knows now that the scope, the microscope is on him, and the fact any mess up he makes is going to be amplified. And it always is as a keeper, but you've got to be mentally strong to be a keeper. He's obviously played at a different level, but coming to a club like Arsenal, do you know what I mean? For me, it's such a huge step. Has he got it mentally? I don't know. I mean, he looked so scared when he came on against Wolves. I think the ball was played back to him, whatever, and he just kicked it off for a throw, didn't he? It was just like
he hasn't got the biggest build for a keeper either, has he?
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's quite small, and I do think that's a psychological thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you get big players. Look at Martinez, Villa's keeper, our ex-keeper. I mean, I couldn't. There was like a cigarette paper between him and Leno for me. I think Arsenal done the right thing with Leno because as a shot stopper, I think he's slightly better. But the stature of Martinez in goal, he's comes out, claims things.
Yeah.
This one is. I don't mean it bad, but he's like a little kid, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
No. I sorry. I agree with you, Nick. I mean, I love a keeper that has presence, and Martinez had presence. It just makes you feel calm, when you have those crosses coming in. Do you remember the days when we had Fabianski and Almunia in goal and things like that? It just filled you with dread, didn't it? Really, and you just knew there was gonna, teams would just target that, where crosses coming in. But yeah, it's just one of those ones. So hopefully, Runarsson, if playing, he can.
Bottom line is, though, if he does play, the defence have to protect him, and that starts from the front three. Do you know what I mean? It's a team game, so maybe we shouldn't focus too much. I know what they're like. I'm the same, but yeah, it's a team game, man.
Anyway, we've got this Charles Williams asked that new kiddie. He's expecting a lot from him. I think he's on about Odegaard, is it?
Odegaard, yeah.
Real Madrid loan.
Smith Rowe.
I haven't seen him play, to be honest. I saw him the other day for a little bit, but that was it.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
Wenger had him at the club as a 15-year-old. That's good enough for me, man.
The thing is, I mean, I saw La Liga a couple of times last season and saw him playing, and it's a tidy player, very tidy player. I mean, it would be good if we could integrate him into the team. We're going to need him because obviously we've got Europa League games coming up. So Smith Rowe can't be playing every single game. And obviously we can't rely on Willian because as we know, it seems like he's playing, for the other team.
I think it's still come good.
He's not getting any younger, is he? I can't see it.
No. I don't mean it. Yeah, you're right, G-Man. I don't mean it like that. I mean it from the point of view, I think by the end of the season, his stats and that will be a lot better than what they have been. That's where I'm coming from.
He can't be any worse.
I don't.
He's got no assists. No goals.
He had one assist on his first game.
At Chelsea, he was like he scored and he assisted in flurries. Do you see what I'm saying? I think if he gets one, he might get a few more, and it won't be as bad as what it is now. But if he's not playing, then no chance, because Smith Rowe has made that place his own. And also, I wouldn't mind seeing Pepe in there either, in that position, that free role.
FTB Sports have got broadcasting. Have got our own tie, Nick.
Wait, I used to see him in away games on a Tuesday night up in Bolton with his hat and everything. Don't worry about that.
I think, yeah, we can. I think we can get a result. I really do. And with the Norwegian, Odegaard coming in. The problem with January transfers is that it's so hard to integrate and so hard to settle into the team at such a late point in where everything is 100 miles an hour basically. I remember we bought Reyes in January all those years ago, and he was supposed to be the next big thing coming in from Spain, etc. But his first game, he scored an own goal. do you know what I mean? It took him a while to settle in, and then he had a good pre-season, and then he kind of, he flew. I just think it's hard. It would have been nice had we got him in the summer, but I just think can he hit the ground running? Can he get up to pace? There's no time for him, any kind of assimilation to the Premier League. He's just got to hit that ground running. I don't know what about you guys. I'm the jury's still out. He's a tidy player, but it's a bit warmer in Spain, isn't it?
Well, I think he's come to compete with Smith Rowe, isn't he? Because we saw Smith Rowe come in and he's done a good job. I think he's maybe slowed down a little bit in the last game or two.
Yeah.
He maybe needs a bit of a break. It's hard to come in when you're young and play every game at 100 mile an hour. Yeah. So I'm glad he's there, this new guy. So that at least we got a bit of a choice. I don't know the new guy.
Smith Rowe, I think he's become integral though, hasn't he? Because of if you notice against Wolves, he took Lacazette off before him.
He'd be one of my first names on the team sheet as well. But can he do it every week, twice a week?
21. I'd like to think so. No,
I think
he's missed a lot through injury, so it's like a 19-year-old.
That's the thing. The thing with Smith Rowe is that he's had a lot of injuries, and you can't burn him out. But the way I see Smith Rowe playing, couldn't we got a tune out of Ozil? I know he's gone, and it's yesterday's news and things like that. But what is he doing? What is he doing that Ozil couldn't do? Is it just down to work rate? Is that what it is?
I don't think so. There's something more to it, wasn't it? And it had to have been. Come on. You know what? In football, I know you got to run and press and whatever. Yeah. Okay. And your legs can go, but you can still put in the effort. One thing you don't lose if you're a good, talented footballer, say like a Mercurial number 10, you don't lose a vision, and you don't lose that bit of skill. That's something you're born with, So that is obviously something personal there, or stuff that's beyond us that we'll ever know, unfortunately, because he was class, man.
I mean, it could be back because when he doesn't defend, the best you'll get from him defensively is he'll stand in front of the man with the ball. That's the best you'll get from Ozil as a defender. He'll just run around him, but he will stand there. That's all. And he's not going to tackle. He doesn't tackle. Maybe that might be something to do.
I think for me, right now is that I'm looking at Smith Rowe and I'm really kind of like analysing. Now, look, at this point in time, he's playing, he's doing bits, and he's playing well. But when sometimes you're looking for that little bit like je ne sais quoi, what they call it, and that little bit of zest, little something different. Can Smith Rowe do that? Have you seen him kind of like stand someone up, boom, and go past him?
Yeah,
he's done that.
Newcastle, was it Lascelles? He mugged him right off and just slipped Saka in. Nah, he's got that, and you got to remember he's only played a few games.
Listen. He's look. I'm not. All I'm just saying is that I think maybe a bit of perspective, just to calm down a bit. He's young. Yes, he's English. And the thing sometimes is that what can happen in the media is that things get kind of overhyped. Right now he's doing well. Let's see if it continues when he's expected to do things in big games, etc. Because I think right now he's sometimes in the game, and then he can go missing for pockets of the game where you won't really kind of see him, or on the ball or whatever. But fair dues, he's doing well. He's doing well, and let's long may it continue.
One thing's a fact: since he's come into the team, and I'm not putting it all on him because obviously our team's worked harder and they pulled their socks up. But he's been integral in that because he, like G-Man says, he's been pushing himself about. He chases, he harries down, and for his touch, he's a pure touch player. Pass and move. You know what, in football, I know it's easy to say, hard to do, but the hardest thing to defend is a ball. No matter how quick, how hard, how fit
to be
you
fair,
are.
he moves it. He moves it quick. Touch, I like that.
You move it quick. That's undefendable. A bit like dribbling in that.
But Ozil did the same thing. Ozil he would always bounce it. Always bounce it.
Ozil's gone, bounce
it.
Ozil's gone.
I know he's gone.
We've got another question here. We've got another question from Zach. Should we have bought some defenders in the last window?
Zach, how you doing? Big up, Zach.
Big up, Zach. How you doing, Zach? All right?
I know Zach. Bless.
I know Zach too.
Oh, wow. I think we'll maybe a left back. To cover for Tierney. I think in the summer we definitely need to go for a big right back. For me, we need Hakimi. It'll be a great shout for us. The guy, he's on loan. He's at Inter Milan. He was at Dortmund, wasn't he, on loan from Real Madrid? Ashraf Hakimi, I think his name is. You guys don't know him?
I don't know him.
No? Whoa. Yeah, have a look.
I've heard of him. I've not watched him.
Great right back. He's been on loan the last couple of seasons. Last season he was at Dortmund. This season he's at Inter. If we can get someone like him, be great. That's what I think we need. I think centre back we're well stocked. I think hopefully Saliba can do well on loan and get his head right and come back, have a great pre-season, start playing, and then hopefully then strike up a partnership. I'd love to see him and Gabriel, be the mainstay of our, centre back pairing for years to come. Big, strong, athletic. Those tough. Gabriel and Saliba. I don't think, number one, you would not beat them for pace. Number two, strength. And number three, they're giants. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got all the attributes to be great central defenders. So,
and what do you think of Murray?
That's the plan for the future. I think that's the plan.
What do you think of Murray, though?
I like Murray. I really do. But
the problem with Murray is that about him as well, man. It's a hard one for me. I think we're right in defense.
You know what? He's like he's a bit like Mertesacker. His timing of the tackle is brilliant. He may not be the quickest, but he makes up with the timing of his tackle. I like him. He's calm. He can play a ball. The problem is that he's Mr. Glass at the moment. He'll come in for a couple of games, get injured, and you won't see him for about a month and a half. And that's a big problem, in terms of when you want to build some consistency with your team. It's a huge problem.
Yeah.
Right, shall we go through a few more of these questions now? We've got a guy asking, Mr. Silver Fox, what's your opinion on Martinelli?
Love him. Love him. But he will be the Arsenal number 9. Don't worry about that. I mean, if Lacazette's out of contract in the summer, needs to leave, give him the keys to it, man, because he presses. I don't think he's made of glass. You know, he's still a kid, you know what I mean? He's playing in the Premiership. All that work rate, it rubs off on the team. He knows where the goal is. Yeah, absolutely love him, man. Team, I think the team would be good around him. Our future's good. Him, Saka, Smith Rowe.
How many times have we over the last 10, 20 years?
True.
I mean, okay, I'm going to temper this a bit, okay? Although, look, you can't doubt Martinelli's natural ability, okay? You can't doubt that one iota. What I do have an issue with right now, and I'm a bit concerned about, is the injuries he is picking up. Getting them at a young age, yeah, sometimes they can play in your head. You start doing things differently when you're playing. You're not playing your... Because, look, listen, when he first burst into the scene, what was it? I think he was the highest goal scoring teenager since Anelka, right? Now, he's like a cross between, like, you know, your Alexis Sanchez and Ronaldo kind of type player. You know, the way he plays the game and everything, you know, he's just all about, you know, he's action. As that's his type of game and he has no fear, the problem I have is that when he's picking up these kind of injuries that keep him out for a length of time, that might play in his mind to make those kind of runs. He'll start thinking, no, should I not do that? Actually, let me kind of, you know, dress back a bit, not make those kind of runs, just kind of like, you know, change his game up a bit. And that's the only thing. I'd love for him to continue the way he's playing, with no fear, full out 100 miles an hour. Because I love that, because look, we all, I guess, obviously, until he actually signed and he left, we all loved Alexis Sanchez, you know, for his endeavour and the way he played the game. And, you know, he always looked like he gave 100%, you know, 150%. And that's what why everyone loves Martinelli. He's a quality player. I'm just a bit worried about his injuries. That's all. If he could be fit, get some rhythm going, yeah, you know, what is he now, 19, 20? He's got a big future. Let's just hope, you know, because it's a serious injury what he had with his knee. You think about the players that had those kind of injuries, you know, from your Jack Wilsheres, your Marco Owens, and all those. They were never the same players when they came back. So that's my only concern.
He still seems like that pace, though, when he played the other week.
Oh, no. He hasn't lost pace, but sometimes it's a mental thing where you kind of like, where you wouldn't even think about making a run on a football pitch, because you've had that injury. You think, nah, do you know what? I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to run there because I know I'll get clattered. But when you're young,
another thing, he's a young kid, yeah? He's living in a different country. This pandemic as well. I doubt he's even seen half of London in that year. He's coming in. He's been injured non-stop. I think we've got to cut him a bit of slack. I think he'd be fine. I don't think he's injury prone either. Not the way he goes into tackles. You can see the love and the passion he's got, the way he goes about. I think he'd be good, man. I do. I've got no qualms about it.
Listen, man, I'm crossing everything for him, because do you know what? It would just be great if we can have, you know, someone coming up and he like that, and you can tell he keeps, you know, on that trajectory in terms of his ability, and, you know, keep, you know, improving. You know, you'll have an 80-90 million pound player in a few years, but he's got to stay fit. That's the key. He's got to stay fit. Oh, big question.
Yes. Who wants to go first on this one?
I think my score predictions all week were wrong when I was doing the previous the preview.
He was no confident.
So yeah, I had us 2-0. However, we was doing well until David Luiz said, "Nah, we ain't having that. Let's give him a pen." Villa will score. That's my problem. Villa will score.
They don't have to score. They don't have to score. We've done well defensively, I think. apart from Wolves the other day.
Regardless of whatever happens, we're going to have a new keeper at the back. And do you know what? And the thing is, sometimes knowing that you've got a keeper that you can trust relaxes you that little bit. Do you know what I mean? Not knowing what a keeper's going to do, whether he's going to come, when he's going to stay, whatever, sometimes can, you know, add to that little bit of kind of hesitancy. So 3-2 Arsenal.
That'd be good.
Come on. Yeah, sticking my neck out. We seem to do all right away from home.
True. What are you thinking?
I was like you. But now with the goalie situation, I'm going to stick with 2-0. I'm going to stick with it.
What, for us?
Arsenal have a good game or a change. I'm an optimist, man. What can I say?
That's good. That's how it's got to be, innit? I'll probably do that on my pools coupon and my bet. I think it'd be 1-1, 2-1, hopefully to us.
Yeah.
By the odd goal, then I think we all kind of
yeah. Don't get me on to goal scorers either, because anyone.
We've got some news coming in here, guys. Says we failed against in our appeal to get the David Luiz red card rescinded. I thought he might have got away with that one, you know.
Well, we went over it, didn't we? I think Southampton player did. Well, much difference.
I know that we've hashed this out already with this question, this topic. But honestly, do we care? No, I'm being honest. I don't care. I personally don't care that David. I think it might be a blessing in disguise, because the thing is, Arteta, being fair to him, he couldn't disrupt the back line. If you're playing and you're winning, you can't bring someone else in. Okay, because I wanted Gabriel to be playing. With
I understand,
right?
totally.
And so I got that. And however, I think it's a blessing in disguise that. I can't even say it's a blessing in disguise. I mean, listen, I'd rather he got injured, actually, Luiz. Sorry, man, that's dark. But I think personally, I would rather see Gabriel and Holding there rather than Luiz and Holding. Because you know what? There was a couple of times when they were running through, and Luiz and Holding looked slow. And that really kind of shocked me, especially Luiz. He's slow. I know Wolves have got some nippy wingers and some nippy forwards, but it really was apparent. And now when you're coming against Ollie Watkins now and Jack Grealish, Villa are going to try and play us on the break. They'll let us have the ball and they'll try and hit us on the break, you know, with their wingers and Ollie Watkins, you know, with their pace. I do like Ollie Watkins. I think he's a good player, and Gabriel and Holding are going to have their work cut out for them.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show.
Okay.
So we all three of us then think we're going to do it. We're all going to get the win.
Yeah, definitely win.
Let's hope so.
God, we need it now. It's just, do you know what the thing is? One thing I would say is that the way the league table's setting up, we need to kind of beat these teams around us and start. There's a small chance. I know people now probably going to be laughing at me when I say this, but there is a small chance. We're
I'm with you. I know what you're saying.
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
As well.
Hey, don't say no more.
That's so more.
I know what you said.
I'll say no more. But
keep it like that.
There's a smidgen.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from.
I mean? If we can just keep doing, just do our business, win our little 1-0s or whatever. Don't be kind of, too kind of like show offy or whatever. Just quietly go about our business, picking up the 3 points, and you never know. You never know.
Okay, guys.
Cheers,
guys.
Good to see you,
Gunners. Come on.
See you later, lads.
Bye-bye.